So last year when I was preparing for El Salvador, I really didn't know what to expect. And then just this past summer, the day finally came and 16 of us, we got on a plane and we flew to El Salvador. Then Rigoberto, Valmori, and brother Alfredo picked us up from the airport after we stood around and waited, confused, for a little bit. And they loaded all of our baggage into a truck, and it was pouring down rain at this point. So they were taking our baggage, throwing it in the truck. They didn't really care. And then we got into the vehicles, and they were taking us to the hotel. And I've never experienced driving like that in such a large vehicle. There were motorcycles coming up right up next to us in the same lane, just crazy driving. So it would go so fast to slow, and then fast to slow. Day one of El Salvador, it was Sunday, and we were attending church services, and the 16 of us split into two different groups. We walked a long way to get to church, and it was in a small building, hot, small building. It was like the equivalent to the size of about one semi-big room, I would say. And there was a tiny area for the kids and then worship. I separated off with a few girls, and we went to help with the kids, like the kids worship. And that was so fun. It was great. The kids were so happy, and they didn't know what we were saying. There was a translator, and we kind of got confused at the time, but the kids were so happy and just grateful for us to be there. And then we went to the actual worship, and we all sat in the back. We didn't have a translator then, so we didn't really know what was going on. But we would stand up and just clap our hands as they were singing worship music that the kids provided. And I just remember just feeling so much joy. And it was just so crazy. I was overwhelmed by just the joy and the love that I felt inside of that small church. There was not even a suitable ceiling on that church. And everyone there was smiling. They were sweating a lot, but they were just so happy to be there just worshiping the Lord. So welcoming to us as we were all just worshiping the Lord together. So day one of working in El Salvador, it was our work days. We all went to this church site. It was Alfredo's church that he created. And me and a few other people, we split off into a group to lay ceramic tile on the dirt floor of the church that was there. And we had a fun time just laying the tile. And we turned this dirt floor into a beautiful ceramic tile floor, which was a really cool experience to watch it change over the days that we were working. And every single day, Rosa, Alfredo's wife, and the other women that she was with, they would prepare lunch for us out of like a single pot, it seemed like. And we don't know where all the food came from, and it seemed like it was made from pretty much nothing. But every single day we had a huge lunch with tortillas, rice, chicken, fish. It was amazing. It was amazing food. And they served all of us people on these hot days. One of our last full days in El Salvador, we went to a youth outreach. And I was asked by Heather the day before if I would want to share my testimony at this outreach. And I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I had never shared my testimony before. And I went up to share my testimony and made Crystal sit up there with me because I was so scared. And as soon as I started talking, my nerves started to subside. I just really felt the Holy Spirit with me. I just could not stop talking. It was difficult, really difficult with the translator, but I've never felt that good after I finished sharing my testimony. After I was done, I remember a girl my age, she came up to me and she was crying, and she didn't know she knew a little English, but it was very broken English. And she hugged me and she said that she loved me and that God loved me and she loved my testimony, and that her parents went through the same thing my parents went through, and that and I needed to share my testimony more often. Overall, for me, El Salvador was very eye-opening. I got to experience people of different cultures and a different language just coming together to work as one and serve the Lord. And that was it was an amazing thing to see and just to be a part of. I'm so grateful to have gotten this experience to go on a great mission trip and just to meet amazing people and to go with amazing people and just do an amazing thing.